Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Short week. Again, just a reminder, I'll be headed to the Keys. I will be trading from there, most likely not going live. I guess it depends on what type of internet we have down there. I've always heard different stories that the internet is not very nice. Especially to people like me who need the internet to survive on. So we will be trading as much as we can. And again, I'll set up my little setup there. And if I can go live, I'll definitely be live with you when I'm not out on the ocean fishing. So just know that. We rented a place that is much like my home here on the water. We're situated on the canal and we have access to the Gulf. And down there will be the same way. We'll be sitting on a canal. We're bringing boats. We can't wait to go fishing and just hang out, have a really good time. So please bear with me. I'll be on vacation. Leaving this Friday, so that's going to be the 3rd. And I start my vacation on the 4th. By the time we arrive down there, we decided to all drive. Again, we're taking boats, 3 boats to be exact, and we are leaving on the 4th, and we should be returning on the 13th well, I would say the 12th. I'll try to make it back by Sunday, and then we'll start back on the 13th for regular viewing and so forth. But between the 6th and the 10th, I will be trading again. Just don't know if I'll be live, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and start from there. And let's get started. Let's start with what we always start with, the ES futures, and then we'll come over here and take a look at SPY QQQ CRM, maybe Tesla, Amazon, whatever you guys want, really. So if you have something, just let me know. All right. Just give me 1 second here to get squared away. And just to familiarize yourself with my screen, once again, I use TradingView to chart. I do both Thinkorswim or TradingView. I prefer TradingView now. It took me years and years to finally switch over, but I did. But I trade off of Thinkorswim. I love Thinkorswim for trading. That's just me. I know many people have their own opinions, okay? But for myself, that is what I like to do. All right, here we go. ES Futures, over here on the right-hand side, you're going to notice I have these screens I've shown you for the last 4 or 5 days that I've been live. What we have going on here is I am the only service that I'm aware of that uses my brokerage trades. So straight from my brokerage account, within milliseconds, my room gets to see what I'm going to trade. Now, my small account is a cash account. It's very small, very small. Okay, my swing account is a margin account, so we know that that's over $25,000. And then my spreads account is linked to my margin account. The way that I like to trade this, typically with a small account. All right, so if we click on there, you're going to see everything I trade. Yesterday, we traded in and out of several stocks and made money. Some of these I did live with you. All right, and you can see they're just small gains ranging anywhere from 30 to 100%. Sometimes they're more than that. A lot of times I'm buying calls more than I am buying puts. And because of that, the call positions in this side are not as high percentage as they used to be. Obviously, the bounces haven't been that great, at least in the small account. Okay. Don't have a problem buying puts at all. Just depending on what the conditions are and what the risk to reward looks like. To the other account, if we click in here, I'll go ahead and show you this is going to be the swing account. I started at Upstart yesterday. I trimmed out a TTWO. We traded some shop equity. So I trade everything: futures, equity, options, all of that good stuff. All right. Mainly, though, I would say on the option side, but I do. You can use my system for anything: options, equity, futures, all of that. And I teach you how to apply that to the chart itself. Okay. And then we created, off of my proprietary scripts, my alert signals come from my scripts. All right. And then they're fed into what we call a signals room. So auto future signals, this is going to give you an entry and a stop according to my methodology. Okay. Down here, Trendy Auto Signals, that's anything that I want to trade. I just load it in the morning. It could be anything, SPY, Tesla, Apple, it doesn't matter. Then I choose what time frame I want to trade it on, and then it's going to spit out when the signals hit, an entry and a stop. And then SPX channel, same thing, depending on the time frame, and it lets traders know what time frame I am using, where the signals are coming from, and once again, an entry and a stop price. These are really nice. They work very well, and when they don't work, what's most important is when they don't work, okay, that you have a stop. And that's what Trendy's all about, right? I want to teach you how to be more consistent and being comfortable with placing stops, okay, and understanding where your targets come into play. All right, so let's go ahead and start over on the right hand side. We're going to, matter of fact, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep it on the SPX signals on the right hand side, and down here we will go with the margin account to the lower end. And if I trade anything, I'll change it over to those channels just so you could see them come in just like I did yesterday. All right, so now that you're familiar with the screen, let's finally get started. It's 4 minutes past the hour. I'll try to finish here about 5 minutes before the open. That way we can get prepared. ES Futures. I gave you this blueprint on the weekend, over the weekend. And this is what Trendy, again, is all about. I'm not a high-insight trader. I do not like hindsight. I am looking forward. I'm giving you levels where I am looking at supply and demand, Fibonacci's, extension Fibonacci's, and range, and putting all that together to give you a really good blueprint and a higher probability trade. It's very straightforward, folks. There's a green box and a red box in this situation. We're looking to go long in the green box and trimming out at the red box. Many amateurs or people that don't understand supply and demand will say something like, depending on how wide that box is, they'll say something like, well, okay, well, that's pretty wide. So you're saying I'm going to go long at 41.26 and my stop's going to be down here at 40.75? Not at all. Okay, I get where you're coming from. I would never do that unless maybe if I'm using micro and I'm going very long term. But we do have a process centered around this. Okay. Mainly what we're looking for is a reclaim. So when price comes down into the zone, you don't do anything. You wait for bulls to show up. That's the idea. Bulls are going to show up into the zone. Once we reclaim, then you could see you have a nice little move out of here. So for example, on the reclaim, you made money several times. This is a 4-hour candle. And again, I could show you, 41.26 up into 41.65. But again, I'm all about transparency. All right. And transparency means I'm going to tell you the truth. Just because it reclaims and it moves 20, 30 points doesn't mean that you can actually hold that long. All right. Most traders cannot. Exactly. Right. They talk about it, but the truth is very difficult for traders to hold that long, most beginning traders, okay? But we have a lot of things that we use to try and help you in the trade. And the first thing it starts with is defining the right entry and understanding where you're going to have resistance and where you have targets, okay? So again, this is a blueprint in order for you to take this trade and understand how you're going to get to your destination. So again, a map. Every single day, I'm going to help you, I'm going to coach you, and help you understand an if this, then that scenario. So once we get into the trade, if price can get over this, we're looking for that. If price breaks down below this, we get out of the trade. We can go short. Depends on you, okay? So ES Futures comes into the buy zone. We have pushed up, and on a 4-hour candle, we are rounding out. All right, that's it, just rounding. We're digesting last week's move. All right, last week's move. This big thing right here, this is not normal, okay? When we move this much, price needs to digest. And what I can tell you, without going into a lot of detail, is that the weekly is bullish. These are proprietary to Trendy. And this lets me know that I want to be staying on the long side of the trade. It doesn't mean that I have to get long as soon as we open. What it means is I'm looking to go long on a pullback, or I'm looking to stay long if I am net long in the portfolio. All right? That's what that means. So we are digesting at a very healthy area. All right? All right, and just for any of you, I had some questions yesterday. Hey, how do we know when you're live? It should just be the first thing on my YouTube page at the top, and you'll see that I am live. Okay, so anytime if you're subscribed, you come in here, you should see that I'm live, and I think it actually says live. But you can also set an alert. Check the top right bell next to the subscribe button, and that's going to let you know when I go live as well. Okay, so again, there's a little alert thing in the top right. It's a bell next to the subscribe button. Hit that. All right. Also, if you're sitting here and you're listening, whether you're a member or not, I understand it's busy. People are vacationing. It's summer, but please just take 5 seconds and hit the like button for this video if you're liking the content. I'd really appreciate it. It lets me know that, when I'm doing this, I have somebody out there that's getting some information that they appreciate. All right. All right, so if this, then that. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Well, if price stays bid above the zone, which is again above 41.26, look for price to round out and then potentially move into this area right here at 41.70, and we still have resistance up here at 41.91. The overall target comes in at 4223 by 4254. Far as trendy edges are concerned, notice we want to be buying when we're lower on the curve, okay? And this, my friends, is a very long-term or long time frame demand level, all right? Notice that we didn't touch exactly. That breaks my heart, but it's okay. So we got very close. We know that buyers are going to step in at some point down here, and notice that we pushed a good 400 or 500 points to the upside, and this zone or this edge did its job. This is a playing field. Now, my target, as far as edges are concerned, are right here, and they happen to be right into this selling pressure. All right, so we're going to have resistance there. Exactly what is going on right now. So once we hit supply, okay, we back off a little bit. We come back, we fill more orders, and we try our best to break back through this zone, okay? But again, once we break through it, just like resistance, once it gets weak, it breaks down, right? I do believe we'll stall right in this area. So right now, just a digesting period. Let's go to the daily. All these are very important, folks. I need to go over every one of these time frames, and then you need to understand where you fit in. Like if you're a weekly trader, I'm telling you right now, the daily and the 4-hour is my go-to at this very moment. Okay, and I'm going to show you why. Right now, we came off an inside. This is what we call a mother candle or an initial candle. This is an inside candle, and currently we could go either inside and up or inside and down. All right. Both are very, very powerful candle formations, and I teach you how to trade those right here on YouTube for free. How to identify them and also how to trade them. Once we go inside and up, things start to look a lot better for the bulls. That level is at around 41.64 and a half, 41.65. Once we hit that level, we're going inside and up. And I want you to notice what the rest of the market is doing, okay? So we're going to hit an alert here. I want to right click on this. I'm going to edit. And you guys are going to see this in your auto signals, okay? And I'm just going to let you know daily, and I'll write in here, daily, inside and up. Okay, hit that. All right. Now, what about inside and down? It's going to have to break down right here. And same thing. That's going to be 41.25. Let's see, 41.25 and a quarter. All right. Inside and down formation. Okay. So we're basically stuck until these two levels are hit. All right, so this is a neutral zone, if you will. We're just going sideways until one of those can break. And I'm going to tell you this really quick. As soon as we break to the upside, expect it to pull back and then retest that area for support. If we break down on an inside and down, expect it to rally back up into this 41.25, all right, and then come back down. All right, so it's not like one of these things. Typically, it's not one of these things where it just breaks and hallelujah, boom, we hit the zone. All right, it's not like that. We're not in that type of market. We don't have a lot of catalysts that are helping us out here, especially for the bulls. All right, So 2 major levels on the daily. Let's go to the weekly. I'm going to go ahead and turn on some of my scripts so you can start to see some of this. Here are the bands. These are very, very important. When we're underneath the bands, look for it to be resistance until it's not. So if you're a swing trader, you need to understand that we are at a stopping point. We're at a stalling point. We have hit resistance using the EMA cloud here, and it's telling me that cool your jets. All right, don't get too excited. It's okay to take trades to the upside, but understand that they're not necessarily going to pay me a lot of money at this moment because the divergence between price and resistance is very, very small. All right, we don't have that extra amount of room like we had last week when I was teaching you. You know, we were way down here and the cloud was way up here, and I told you we would be looking for that weekly touch of the EMA cloud. Matter of fact, we hit it and notice we stalled. So you need to understand that. So swing traders, just chill. All right? Just hang out. Try not to pay attention too much to your percentage because that's what options, in my opinion, that's why they invented them, right? They're just like this burning premium sucking machine. But also, if you're paying attention to the percentage and not your process, you will get scared out of your trades. You'll get stopped out of your trades, and then you'll see price move in the direction you wanted. And just to come to find out, you paid attention to percentage over process. And that's where a lot of us get hung up. Okay? Stick to your process. Know what your process is. In this case, my green box is my entry on reclaim, and the cloud is a stalling point for swing traders. Let's go ahead and move on to the monthly. The monthly is very important, folks. This is, yes, I understand it's the 1st of June. The month is just starting, but this is an inside and up formation that's trying here. So what I'm saying is, far as June is concerned, and it's kind of cool how this is working out because the bottom of this cloud, the bottom of this candle, let me go ahead and point it out to you. Matter of fact, let me take this stuff off. Right here, this is an inside candle. Right now, we're going inside and up. Again, watch the video on YouTube so you can see it, okay? So we're going inside and up here, all right? And as long as we stay above this body, this is an inside and up. Notice that the wick came down and it hit the bottom of that, but now it's continuing to push up this morning. Again, only the first day of June, all right? So don't get too excited, bulls. We're still in the cloud. It's going to be choppy. Now, when I turn this on, notice that my entry on reclaim that I gave you over the weekend happens to be underneath this level. So I like that. Again, the inside and up on the monthly, so long-term swing trading and divergence looks like this. Current price is here. If we can hold this box, then we would be looking to move up towards the top of this EMA. And the more we move up here, the more that this is going to start pointing down and most likely will round out at our target. See, and the price will hit here, it'll reject, and then we'll basically flag into the August, the bigger names who are reporting. And then I bet you what's going to happen is those earnings will either push us out of the cloud on the monthly, or they're going to send us back down into around this zone. All right, that's my look for right now going into the monthly. Let's go ahead and get started with Spies and QQQ. Now I'm going to show you 2 different charts here. I use what's called a neutral strategy. I also have that on YouTube. All right, and you could see there on YouTube, I teach you how to trade my neutral strategy. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Now this is using Thinkorswim. Check this out, folks. Last week, if you followed the neutral strategy, amazing. You made a ton of money. It really is as simple as going long over the green and short underneath the red. Notice that I have different levels within the neutral strategy, okay? Don't pay too much attention to the ones on the right-hand side, all right? Don't worry about those right now. I want you to worry about the price, the levels that are underneath price. Yesterday, SPY came into the edge. This is the trendy edge. It bounced all the way back into the other edge. This goes to show you how powerful these are. When price is above, this is support, and the price pushes up into an edge. that is resistance. Notice that that edge is lined up with this top neutral number, 416.50, okay? Down here, notice that the bottom red level is where you're supposed to go short if we go short underneath, okay? Sorry, if we go bid underneath, all right? But notice how the level is here and it's supported. Anytime price comes into a level, look for it to be support. And I said that specifically yesterday. Anytime price pushes into a level, look for it to be resistance. Okay? Until we start to break above, what you want to see, just like over here on the Qs, they're trying to go over here pre-market. I want you to see something. Yeah, sure, you could draw a line on here. You could do something like that. There is resistance, even though we're breaking over the neutral. There's obviously resistance here. You have some topping wicks. They're not too toppy. So we could break, and start to move up here. Again, it's rounding off of an edge on the QQQ, all right? But we really need to see, I'd like to see 310.60 start to go bid. And we're at 310.22, 310.27, all right? These are the targets to the upside. But before we get there on QQQ, I want you to be careful and just know that you can find resistance right here at 311.13, okay? Give me 1 second. I'm going to put this on. We need to do that just to reset some things. These things are acting funny. This is how you get rid of that. You just go to a time frame and switch it really quick. Okay, so right there, again, this is what we're looking at. Neutral strategy. Let me give you support and resistance levels right now, okay? These are the levels you need for today. SPY, your support is the trendy edge. That edge is at around 412.25, okay? That is your support for right now. So current price is at 415. That is your risk to the downside. To the upside, your reward at the moment, 416.50. This is resistance. Once it gets there, let it break. Let it pull back, then let it confirm for you. Let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. Now, that doesn't mean I can't take it as soon as it breaks. I'm just telling you what the higher probability is. We break, we pull back. What you want to see is support here. And then later in the session into close, you want to see this right here. Okay? And if we're lucky, we get that. I've been doing this for many, many years, folks. All right? Very high probability setups, probably the best targets and levels out there, and I'd put that to the test against any trader out there. I'm very confident in my levels, and I know a lot of traders. To the right-hand side on QQQ, your support for right now is going to be the trendy edge at 306.20. Your resistance is 310.06. I understand we're right above it, but again, we're waiting for it to break, pull back, and then we verify that we can make higher highs and a base off of this. You want to see it flag, basically, okay? Your resistance levels, okay? I give you the support. We're at resistance now. For this, though, I need you to know that you can find resistance right at the top around 311.5. We break above that, I think bulls are in charge, and we start to hit 314.41, all right? Again, SPY and QQQ. Yeah, no problem. All right, so right here on ES Futures, I told you I'd go into SPY. Let's go ahead. I just showed you the neutral strategy, okay? Understand that everything I do here is about risk tolerance. I teach you how to use options using the delta and then multiplying that to the risk that I'm giving you. That way you already understand what you're going to lose before you take a trade. And as I told you, you need to know what you're going to lose. I promise you. The problem is that most of us go into a trade because we think we're going to win. Mark Douglas actually talks about that. And I have to agree with him. Why else are you clicking the mouse when you take a trade? You literally think you're going to win on the trade. But if you could tell yourself, and you won't like this, that you're actually going to lose on that trade, and you understand how much you're going to lose, it's a little bit easier to execute. Hey, I'm about to take this trade and I could lose $350. Does that fall within my tolerance? Yes, it does. Click, I take the trade because it's at a trendy edge, because it's breaking a neutral level, because my signals over here told me to. But at least I knew what I was going to lose before I took the trade. If you can conform to this type of thinking, you will be profitable, okay? Whether you're profitable in your bank account or you're just kind of holding things together. That's what I want to see, that you become a consistent trader. I'm not promising you profits, okay? This is a rounding bottom off of the SPY. Notice that the trendy edge is working very well. This is the 4-hour again. This was the bigger picture. Again, I gave you this last week. It worked very, very well. Notice that price pushed up into the zone. This is a sell zone. Notice it is resistance, and we're kind of holding off here. This is just a bigger picture that I want to show you really quick. Okay? QQQ. I do this every week for our traders. They get all these charts, guys. I mean, like 10 charts that are tradable, and they get all these, and they get to see it before and after. Again, not a high insight type of trader here. Okay? So unlike most, I would say 90+% of traders out there running services, most of them like to show you something after. They can't tell you where to go long. They just say, hey, I'm going long, follow me. That's what they want you to do. It's like a bunch of fish bowl circling in a fish bowl, right? You're like goldfish. And then they sprinkle a little bit of food and everybody goes crazy and people are left with crumbs. They don't really understand the process. I'm here to make you understand the process and use it. QQQ, notice that the trendy edge, folks, has now prices moved up. This is resistance until proven otherwise. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that I said this is your line in the sand for this week. Let's go over here to our, I believe we have some notes on here. QQQ, price has moved back to the YE from under. Again, this is the chart I gave over the weekend. This means this is resistance until proven otherwise, and this will be the line in the sand this week. Up and over this level, 310.02, I expect the attempt of the EMA cloud, 316.90. Matter of fact, that 316.90 is a little bit more than target 1 on my neutral strategy, but this is the possible target here this week. Overall sentiment is bullish above 300. Current price, again, guys, is 310.56, and that is a longer term picture. Let's go into CRM really quick. I sent this out on Twitter, just so you guys could see it and see the power of my levels. Okay. And basically, this is what we're looking for. It's moved quite a bit. Mike, I don't know if you're listening, boss. I know that you did an iron condor. I want to say that your call side is probably in the money now. So you're probably wondering what you want to do there. I can't tell you. I'm not your financial advisor. But I can tell you one thing that you could do. The implied volatility was about 120 something percent or more, I noticed. The question is whether or not we bid above this PMZ. You know how to use the PMZ. I would use a 5-minute. I would find that PMZ. You can see it right here. That actually puts you in the money because I think you sold or you bought the 177.5. I can't quite remember. Just trying to help you out here. You want it to break down below this PMZ. Okay. All right. So you want it to break down below there. Oh, Mike, I see you right there, man. You actually said something. So this is, I think, the option that you sold. All right. And we're above that. So I have to bring it back to Abundance Options, one of our members here, who what they did on their iron condor because they felt good about it is that she actually bought back the short side and rode the long side as long as price was staying above a trendy level. So to me, you wait a little bit to see if it will break back down. If it doesn't, maybe ride the long side, man, for a few minutes. You know how to do that. You're great at doing that. But right now, I would say use the PMZ and the PMZ low. Your risk right now is $1.08 on this. Yeah, you could also turn it into a butterfly. You know, these are my levels. I'm looking for 183. You know, I'm looking for 183 there. All right, as long as the PMZ holds. All right. All right, guys, so it's 8:27. I need some more coffee. What we're going to do is I'm going to bring up a SPY right here. That's too many charts. I don't need that many charts. So give me a second here. I'm going to do 2 charts. And we are going to do SPY on the 5, okay, and I want my PMZ. Remember, what do we want to do? We want to see the PMZ. Guys, look at this PMZ. Absolutely beautiful, by the way. And over here, I want QQQ. just like that. I want to go to the 5-minute as well. I want to make sure my edges are on. Boom, boom. Let's put these on just like that. Notice we have a lot more edges going on the QQQ. It's under a little bit more resistance. Let's see here. There we go. Yep. All right, risk down here is 60 cents. Risk on the SPYs is only 40 cents. Again, 5 minutes. I know you guys can't see it because the PMZ is in the cloud. The PMZ is in the cloud. It's about right there, and it looks like it's about right here. All right, first things we want to know, again, 2 more minutes. Let's do an assessment. Our risk. Are we okay with the risk? What is the actual trade plan? Again, this is kind of, I'll teach you a little bit, but our training members have this. We have trade plans using the line in the sand and the PMZ. Okay. Our line in the sand is down here, 412 on SPY. This is what we call positive right now. Okay. And let's look over here. I'm going to turn on the line in the sand there. Line in the sand can hardly see it. So let's make that bubble a little bit bigger. There we go. Line in the sand is 308.36. And the PMZ, it's above. This is what we call positive, folks. Bulls are in charge. Pretty easy. Bulls are in charge above 414.45. If we break down below there, we have a higher probability of coming back into the line in the sand. That is SPY. On the QQQ, bulls are in charge. Okay, we're opening up here. Bulls are in charge, 309.45. Where are your edges? Your edges are support. Okay, 310 on QQQ. SPY, edges, right down here at 414. Nice little move on the open. You know, I might actually make this 1. I don't like looking at the 2 thing. Sorry, guys. And let me get these. We use the PMZ. We have the futures PMZ on, so I don't want that to confuse anybody. We're just going to do this right here. We're going to concentrate on the PMZ. Okay. Now, positive at Trendy Trading, the higher probability is that we continue to move up into targets. Okay. Come over here. All right, this is what's going on. Notice on the Qs, we broke above. Trendy members, you know what to do from here. Basically, you're trimming and trailing if you're just kind of intraday scalp trading. Okay. Remember the level that I gave you here on this chart here. All right, very important. Right here is where I think we could see resistance. We're touching that. Okay. There we go. Nice move. Let's see if we come back into here. This was not your original target. This is something we found as we were assessing this morning. All right, and Q or SPY trying to bid up towards a 416.50. Remember, this is resistance until proven otherwise. Now, what you want to see on just this little level that I have here, 311.44, is that we can hold that, I'd say at least for 15 minutes or so. All right, our Netflix keeps going positive. It's up to you what you want to do. It pulled in a little bit yesterday. It's a hard one. Need to see if it can actually work. Nice. Dip and rip. So member already took 40% on SPX, just taking that quick move this morning on a positive. It doesn't take long. I prefer in these conditions, I prefer to trade first thing in the morning. And give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna get a little bit more coffee, all right, and come back. But we're gonna keep it right here. Nice. RJR also took SPY calls on the open and trimmed already. That's the way to do it, man. And for you equity traders out there, the cool thing is that you can use, um, this system right here to get in the morning. We also have the signals that kind of help and guide us, during these trades. But I'd expect it just to kind of pull in a little bit here into this level on the Qs and then SPY. Notice how we got towards my resistance area and kind of pulled back. Real quick, let me see what CRM is doing, just because that was a blueprint that I gave you guys this morning. Yeah, getting pretty close, up towards 179. And Mike, I'm curious. You had about 120 plus implied volatility, so I don't know what that's looking like for you. I'm sure the spreads are really bad, so it's probably acting a little funky. But again, you need this thing to go under 177 and a half first. All right, guys. Netflix is at 30%. This is a small count challenge, basically. You can do what you want with it. Personally, you know, we're not looking to make a lot of money. You're just looking to be smart. All right. So do what you need to do. All right. All right. CRM. What would you guys rather look at? SPY and Qs or CRM's probably again looking for 183 here. I'm gonna pull up the SPY and QQQ chart there, and I'm gonna get a little bit more coffee, and I'll be right back. All right, quick move back here. All right, let's see if we can get the SPY to break over 416.50. Might try something there. QQQ, Amazon's doing its thing this morning as well. Netflix, I really like to see this thing start going. So far, not much. Let's see, Austin. What are you short? What options are you pretty far out? Small delta or what? 260s. Gotcha. All right, so here's that pullback I was talking about. Came into a little bit of resistance, give it a little bit of time. I think we're just going to build here, so no rush. If you're not in and out as quick as we want you to be, then you're kind of buying right into like an early morning premium crush. And don't forget that overall, your equity curve or your theta curve itself on Monday through Friday typically looks something like this, dropping down very sharply towards Thursday mid Thursday. Well, you're only dealing with 4 days this week, so that curve is a little bit stronger than it typically would be. So just be careful. Okay. And somebody's turned our option into a butterfly today on Netflix. You could tell just by looking at it. The 200 by 205 by 210. It did give you 30% earlier. Like I said, it's up to you what you want to do. Again, this is in the small account. I'm just going to leave mine, see what we can do a little bit later. But just be aware, it is Wednesday, so you need this thing to do something. All right, like quick. All right, so I've been packing for the keys. Got my suitcase right here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like procrastinate when it's, especially as a trader, like I have to get ready for my trip. But it's like a slow journey. Instead of waiting till Thursday, though, before we leave on Friday morning, I'm slowly. I got my suitcase right next to my desk on my other desk, and I just slowly, as I'm doing clothes and like getting things ready, I just slowly put things in there so I don't forget them. All right, let's go over here. Also, I just want to look at a couple of my trades, that I have going on here. So I have Upstart that I started yesterday. Let's see, it pushed up here. Was that this morning? It pushed all the way to 54 that quickly and then came right back down. Jeez, what happened there? Right into a zone. I'll show you. So remember that inside and up, inside and down formation. If you look right here, right towards the peak, that's your inside and down. A lot of selling pressure through here, but it's pretty weak. It's not like this big candle. And now prices come right back down into the PMZ. That's what this little box is down here. So you get to see how well these levels work over and over. All right, guys. So we're back at I think about 30% on, well, sorry, 20 plus percent on Netflix. And let me just put a little note in here just so you guys know in the small account. And let's see, what is this Upstart looking like? See if I want to add or anything. It's down 19%, and it hit 54. Man, I did not see that. That was quick. Let's see, NFE. This thing's, the options on this are horrible. This might be the last time I trade this thing. Had a nice little push up. It's trying to hold, but we need above 45.89. I don't know if you guys know this, but on Thinkorswim they have this, they have Minesweeper, and you can play games. That's one thing I was taught while you're waiting for your setups to work instead of being stressed out and constantly watching. Just know that you can enter a trade and you can put alerts up. That's what's important. Put alerts up. Put where you would get stopped out. Put an alert where you'd want to trim and live your life between those two alerts. Me, I go sit on the dock, chill out, wait a little bit, those type of things. Okay. But you can see we opened up right into resistance that I gave you. Okay. And now we just kind of sit and wait. See if things can get better. Or see if things can follow through. That would be nice. Far as my swing, I want to look at TTWO. I made profits and then I think I rolled. We'd have to go back and look at the notes. But what is this guy doing? It's down 20 cents. How many days do I have on this? 16 days. It's down about 30%, 30-ish. And we're out of the money. I see a little bit of volume. I don't know if that's people selling or if they bought some more. But I got the 130 calls. We're about $6 out of the money. And then my Upstart is down about 22%. Again, these are long-term options. It's 44 days after yesterday's little pullback. Kind of put a dent on those. AMD, I have a butterfly for 107, 110, 113. And then NFE, I have 44 days. That's a spread. So not much to do. I haven't went hardcore into just straight up calls towards the end of this cycle because I gotta trust it first. Intraday trading's different. Let's look at the skew really quick. We need to look at it on the weekly. Still down here to risk on. Let's look at the advancers. We should have that up somewhere. I thought we did. Let's go right here. 1,682. So what it's saying is, remember I gave you these levels yesterday. What this is telling you, you want to be looking again at a smaller time frame, even like a 2-minute to 5-minute. You want to see the market advancing, not pulling back. And currently it's at 1690. We want to see it to start to just look at it like a stock. We want to see it to start bid above 1721, but you're in what we call the scalp long position. So what you're looking for are things to come down into levels. Okay. You want to be looking for levels to the downside before doing anything. Let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin really quick. I forgot to go over that, but we can definitely look at it really fast. Bitcoin futures is what I want to be paying attention to. Folks, I get this level at the beginning of the year. Again, I can't make this stuff up. I said if we could not bid and stay above the relief zone, that we would see this zone. And so far, this is held, and I've contemplated taking some micro Bitcoin futures and just holding and seeing if we could work our way back up into the 47,000 level and possibly 55,000 for the end of the year. So still open to that. My level did work. If we come back and revisit, then we could see lower in here around 18,000. So my stop would be probably around 25,000 on the micro Bitcoin futures. So just something to think about. And again, on the ES futures, I think it's important that we take a look there just to show you what's happening. We gave you the zone. Notice it came right up and hit that daily inside and up and right back down. Isn't that crazy? So I don't even think I got my alert there. This is a level. You know what I mean? Came right up and smacked it and right back down. But I don't know about you guys, but the Bitcoin, I sound like an old person. The cloud, the internet, basically is just stalled. It's not doing much. I look at them like it's up 40 points. Let's look at FTM. I know I got a request there to chart. Let's go here. Is this the right one? If any of you are watching, yeah, it is, because this was the old blueprint. Let's see where this thing came into. We'll use these. It hit our trem and it just went straight down. So this was the buy, hit the trem, and then broke the zone. I haven't looked at it since then. But anyways, we want to use Fib Extensions here. So I'm going to go from this pivot into the lowest pivot, double click, and you can see we're between the 23 and the 0.38. So right here, I'm going to make this a neutral. I'm going to delete that. We're going to take this off. And then we're going to do some Fibonacci from the most recent range. Just like that. Yep, that's about right. We want to use that 618. It lines up with this sell-off here. So that's a very important level. Then I'm going to take the bigger range. Right there. Okay, that's good. And I'm actually going to put this here. And it's going to look like this. All right, and that's what that looks like. So I'm going to put this in the crypto room. I don't really do much in the crypto room unless people ask me, hey John, can you make a chart? This is what I'm looking at. To be honest, I'm not big into crypto or anything like that. A chart is a chart. Like, to me, a lot of these have made a lot of people money. I feel like that craze is over. It's kind of reminds me of when marijuana stocks first came to the market. A chart is a chart to me. You make 50% on crypto, you make 50% on Apple. Like, who cares? It's 50%. Like, I'm not here to fall in love with names and so forth. So, all right. Nice and crazy. All right, Netflix is pushing 40%, guys. I'm going to go ahead and see what I could do here. And I'm going to have have to, let's see, I'm gonna have to, come on. And there we go. Nice trade there, guys. Up to you what you want to do. But I went ahead and I'm just making this a routine. I'm gonna start calling this channel the 30% Club. You know, again, people shake their head. Everyone's looking for like these big winners, and those type of traders are going to consistently lose over the long period of time. I show you how to bang out 30, 50, 70% all the time for the most part. Just taking these trades. You can see as soon as I closed. And this can continue up. Matter of fact, what I like to do, I'm going to call it the Fomo Trade, just kind of teach you guys something really quick. When you feel the FOMO, so say you take a trade, you hold it, it goes down on you. So Netflix went down on me yesterday, it came back, and then it went back down. It gets really frustrating, right? But one thing that you could do to kind of curve that is not to put an over amount of money that you think that you're okay with, that when it goes down though you're not okay with, and your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, and you're like, man, this is crazy. Like, I just want to get out. So price gets to break even, and a lot of people will jump, and then they'll see, or even like this, right, 32%, and I think it's probably close to 45% now. Is a FOMO trade in my case is like you bought this for $1, you sell for $1.38. Excuse me. And then you think that it can continue up. What we're going to do is we can do a butterfly. And this is where I feel like that's really important. Okay. So if you want to do a butterfly, that would be a roll for profit. So let's say that you made 30%. Let's say you bought 10 of these, you made $320, right? I would go over to my margin account, and then I would look at, I told you guys this morning, it looked like somebody's buying butterflies. I could go over here, I could do a butterfly, I could do a spread. So let's see, I could buy the 205 and sell the 210. That's going to cost me $1.50, right? Well, that would be half of your profits. So you could let this go to zero and still make money on your original trade. Now, me personally, I like something a little bit more appealing. I like the butterfly. I love butterflies, and I want to do something that a little bit more fun. So maybe like the 207. Again, this is a roll off of profits. So I'm not saying like I just want to throw money away. I'm still using levels and so forth. So let's come over here to Netflix and just kind of talk it out really quick. All right. So this was the original plan, the gap fill, and we're almost there. And let's see. And then I think we break into the 208 area. So I would buy butterfly. And I know you guys can't see this side of the chart. I gotta have some privacy, right? Uh, you get to see everything over here. But let's turn this into sorry, the threads channel, just so you guys can see. All right, and we are going to do 207 to I like 212, maybe even 215. I'm going to keep it around. I don't want to go. You don't want to do anything silly, because if this thing starts really taking off, we could see up here towards 215. Give me 1 second. That's weird. It's showing me a negative again. I hate when it does that. Oh, okay. There we go. 70 cents. Let it come in a little bit. $2.12. 4. The wider is safer, just so you know. You know, the wider you go on these butterflies, the safer, in my opinion. The tight ones are more of a, you got to be willing to trim them a little bit faster, and put your limit order out there before something crazy. I just feel like this thing can really go, so I want to be really careful. You don't want to wake up and it be up like $30 or something. So I'm going to do a little bit of a lotto here. So I actually did 215, 220, and 225. Those are only 20 cents and pay out very nicely. And this would be in the case that this thing really gets going. Okay. Obviously. So what I want to do with you guys is we're going to put this on the chart. You don't have to do, you can pick whatever numbers you want. But I am going to, let's do this. Settings. 215. So I want to come over here to coordinates and change this to 215. I want to give you guys the visual. And sorry, I meant to make that green. Oh, there we go. Boom. 215. And then notice we got that pretty close to that gap fill. And then we're going to make this red. Okay, and then on coordinates, I want to make this 220. Yep, and we're going to copy this one. And I'm going to go to settings here. And all I'm doing is using a portion of the profits. And then, sorry. Green, good. And it looks like that. So this is a butterfly, folks. And if you would, as a visual, this is the body. Okay. And let me make this actually, make this a little bit easier for you. I like to draw. This is the body. Okay. This is a butterfly. And these are the wings. Okay, right here. This is the wing. Okay, just like that. It's a beautiful butterfly. All right, so when people talk about the body, so let's just say this thing really starts to take off, what I could do is I can get rid of the body. Okay, so what I do is I sell these back. And now I'm left with just calls here and here. Okay, but the goal is, on a butterfly, the major goal is to get a push into your zone, a pullback, and then a hold. And this is how you get paid full, okay, by the close. What you don't want to happen is for it to do this, okay? Then it gets a little bit trickier, all right? Now the implied vol is still 71%. I'm okay if the stock goes down. It actually makes it better for me. Those are the type of things that I want to see. All right. A lot of people get confused because I think that this area can get hit, but I don't want it to get hit too quickly That's where, like, think about it. If we got this for a Friday expiration and we get here and the market gets super bullish, and then on Thursday you open up here, it just makes things really crazy. So we want to pull back. And matter of fact, we want this resistance to hold and now become support. And then I like the idea of a potential Thursday and Friday run into the econ. All right, the econ data, CPI, so forth. Okay, that's all that is. I definitely do not look at percentages when it comes to butterflies. They can throw off your PL sometimes. That's not what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about my targets and the time. Okay, time is the variable. These are my targets. I want these targets to hit right in here, the sweet spot, by Friday. Maybe even, Thursday and pull back. Okay, so we'll label that sweet spot just like that. And I'm going to take this off. I'm going to actually turn this into support. Excuse me. And if you guys have TradingView, I would really highly recommend you guys create templates. Does everybody know how to do that so that you can have stuff like this? Like zones. What was that? Oh, okay. You want zones and stuff like that, right? So if I come up here, and I create this, I could just right click on it and I've created templates, entry, and stuff like that. It makes life a lot easier. Let's see. And this is going to be, obviously this is more of a lotto type butterfly, but I just want to label this for you guys so you understand. I say outer because it's away from current price. And this might be my own thing. I don't know if other people say that or not. But this is just how I like to look at it. Okay, and then you got the body right here. That, okay? And here you go. And let's go over here to this. And just so everybody knows, this is a I like to put this in here. Netflix. Every I feel like my members know me, so I mean, if I'm paying 20 cents, it's a lotto. Time to use that awesome cup. I don't know why I keep doing this. Just wasting dishes, but this cup is godsend. This thing is amazing, man. Keep my stuff hot. Yeah, let's look at Tesla. Pull back. We're underneath the PMZ now. Let's see, what's the market doing over here? Pulling back a little bit, man. Yeah, it's just like yesterday. Pretty lame. Might take some puts here in a second. Let's see. Let's go back over here to SPY. Yeah, right into the zone and down. Remember what I told you guys? We'd be looking for the line in the sand. Remember? After we hit these targets up here. And the smart thing, if you come over here to the neutral strategy, see? Resistance. Resistance. Now we're just in the neutral. This is one of my thoughts going into this week is that we're going to close inside on the weekly, which means you should be probably trying to sell credit up here. So just quick in and out. All right, so another thing I want to show you here, let me pull this off so I can show you guys this. Okay, so this is what my butterfly looks like. And the cool thing is, all right, is that I only paid 20 cents, right? This is a lotto. We've already taken profits. Now, what you want to be watching, all right, this is the butterfly. This is why I said it's a butterfly. This is the body. You sell them. There's -2. This is how it works if you were to do one setup. This is 1 and this is 1. So it's a 1, -2, 1. Give me 1 second. I'm going to say bye to my wife, guys. All right, guys. So as I was saying, this is if you were to just do one contract, this is a 1, -2, 1. All right, that's what this looks like. Now in Thinkorswim, all you have to do is right click on this here and then you select butterfly. And then you just fill in the spots 215 and it'll automatically say 1, -2, 1. Okay. Now, listen to me. This is the part where I like when the market's actually pulling back. I like to look at these as a potential lotto. Now, I've only sacrificed 20 bucks. All right. Let's say I did one contract. I've sacrificed the whole $20 here. So what I'm doing is I'm watching. See, these are only Delta 10s. These are definitely a lotto. But you could apply this to anything out there, whether I did it at the money or whatever. All right. So what I'm watching for is what was the price when I bought this butterfly? And it actually tells me on my monitor. Like it's going to tell me, how much that was when I bought it. All right. So when I bought the 215s, they were going for 79 cents. I didn't pay 79 cents. Again, I bought, I paid 20 cents. But now they're 40 cents. And I think to somebody who bought this, I'm like, man, they're already down 50% on this, and sometimes that like actually excites me. And I want to be buying when they are irritated or when they're frustrated, as long as we're coming into a level or something. Okay. And I also want to look at the probabilities. Is it a possibility that we could move up towards 215 by, close? Do I just want to keep the butterfly on? Or maybe I want to buy back the body and then get these when they're nice and cheap. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. All right, but remember, we're only sacrificing 20. And let's say that this gets down to 20 cents and it's a huge lotto. It's like, it's way out there. Well, if I were to buy this back, now I risk the 20 that I had originally. And now I have a contract that's worth 20 cents here. That's another 20. And then what this does is also keep me long this. So remember, this is gone. So I'm now also long this. And these would probably be worth pennies. Let's just say $5. All right. So my total risk for the entire trade, if I were to buy these back and just have longs, would be a whopping $45. Okay. And if for some reason you woke up on Friday and this thing went to 220 and these turned into 500, you risk $45 for 500. And I'm just giving you a hypothetical. It does not mean that's going to happen. Okay. But I'm just showing you how you could trade around this. Okay. Just trade around it. So on the side, you'd be obviously looking, whether or not we're coming into a level that Netflix would hold. Okay. Blink couldn't quite do it, could it? Nope. Doesn't look like it so far, guys. It's only down like 5 cents today, but the option got cremated. Let's go over here to ES Futures and see what's going on as well. All right, back to the zone. Notice we came right into my alert. Now, what you want to be thinking, I know this is hard for you. What you want to be thinking is, if we don't take out this low, I'm going to try to take a long here with some micros or ES Futures or whatever. All right, and typically it'd be about 88.7% of this low is where we'll bounce. So let's just watch this. Okay. We're just going to wait patiently. I don't think my cup's on. All right, so just wait for 88.7. Matter of fact, if you wanted to, you could sit over here and play some Minesweeper. Yep, that's right. That's what I said. Until it happens. I'm getting close. Take a breather. Take a breather, John. This could happen. We're almost there. Bummer. But we're almost there. Let's see what happens. All right, actually positive today in my smaller account. My margin account's down. And there's that 88.7. Remember, the bottom of the box, what we are doing is creating range into tomorrow's data. That's it. And I bet you we stay in this zone, okay? We are creating range for tomorrow's data. It's basically like a playing field. Every single time FOMC, Biden, any sort of news catalyst is an event that pushes price into our levels and gets us ready for game day. The further we pull back into an event, the better it is, believe me, especially for bulls or people that like to trade specifically to the upside, because it creates range. And the steeper and the trajectory of the pullback, if it's sharp, the bigger that rubber band effect is, or that ball underwater that we get, right? Notice that we are bouncing from the 88.7. I can't make this up. I kind of know what I'm talking about, all right? Been doing this a long time. So we're balancing here from 41.10 into 13. You get a couple points, all right? The question is whether it can hold. If it cannot hold, then I think we make new lows underneath the pivot here, okay? Unless it's just going to be one of these like double taps. But we'll see what happens. Again, this is where you'd be trying micros on that touch, putting your stop in, putting some targets, or ES. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to need to get some water here in a second. Oh, I see. I don't think I have my Bluetooth on. Somebody calling me to see if I wanted to refinance my home. They said, you called about a refinance, right? And I was like, no, I did not. They're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. Ah, slick, huh? Slick, eh? I'm like, well, tell me a little bit about what you do. You know, he calls from the broker side. So he's interested in, obviously trying to help me out. I'm like, well, with interest rates going up, that means if we refinance, my interest rate is going up, correct? He said, yeah. So I said, well, I appreciate it, man. But on that note, I would have to say no. Because I have a veteran, I have a really nice APR on the house, a rate, I should say. I want to say it's at, what is it at? 3.7 or 3.5? I can't remember. Anyways, that 88.7 is trying to hold up. We'll see. If not, then I'd expect it to come down towards the bottom of the, well, at least into this pivot right here, 4102. All right, 88.7. Yeah, right. Yeah, Roberto. Do I want to pay more per month? Man, it sounds like an awesome deal, but no. And let's see, we are coming into the pivot low there. The 88.7 only worked for a couple points. Let's see, our SPY hedges are back up. And let's see if we can, give me 1 second here. So those are at 50%. We're just going to leave those. And I'll leave that. I want to see if anything's coming in. Anything that I have over 44 days, I want to see if I have an area where I'd want to add. So like Upstart. Again, I'm not focused on percentage here with my starters. I'm focused on levels, timing, and so forth. Inside and up still. Let's see if there's a Fibonacci level in here that we can use to be pivot into pivot high. Yeah, so I'd be interested in adding on Upstart around 47, 49. So let's see, edit. I'm going to add. If we get there. I think one of the biggest misconceptions, I hear this so much, even by like really advanced traders, if you have like a starter position and your time frame is long, like adding or scaling in is not adding to a loser. When you start the trade itself, your idea in a starter is not that, at least you don't hope that it just moves up. It happens, believe me, and it's frustrating when you buy something to scale in and it opens up 100% the next day and you're like, I'm just going to go ahead and close. Why didn't I just add big? I would much rather on starters that we pull back into Fibonacci levels, trendy edges, demand, and I still have a long period of time, and that the possibility still remains that we are going to travel into my target. So scaling into a position, whether it be equity or options a little bit more finicky because of the time. There's nothing wrong with it. All right. It's different if you were to say, I'm all in, man. I love this SPY trade. I think it's going up. And I'm just going to go balls to the wall. And then you see me starting to add. That's a lot different story. Okay. All right, so we have an inside and up formation down here towards 406.97. We might want to shoot towards there. Let's see, we have the hedge, which is fine. And let's go ahead and see 407. Do we have 0 DTEs today? Let's see. 1 June. Yep. Let's see what's going to happen. Hitting an EMA line here. A possibility that I may buy some out of the monies for a push down here, but I just want to be careful. We're at the EMA, we're at the lower edge or lower of the curve. So these were definitely resistance. Definitely resistance. We could not hold. Remember, I showed you what we were looking for there. We wanted to try to go short on a bounce into a level here, but I'm not quite getting that. So I might have to just miss it. But obviously, we're breaking down below the neutral. These have already gone up 20%. I got the 406s loaded, which is this level right here. We're at 56% on the hedge. What do I have? 405, 400, and 395. So that, I mean, that covers us down there. Anybody else going short here on that break? Oh, very cool. Nice. Are these Lulu earnings today? Yeah, that 406 man is now almost 50%. Darn it. Should have just took that. Mm-hmm. I was trying to buy back the bodies here on those. Yeah, right there. And I'm okay with my risk. Excuse me. What? Trying to get my cup warmed up. Come on, baby. All right, so I bought my body back on the butterflies, and I'm assuming that risk or taking on that risk. All right, let's see here. Come on, let's go Netflix. I have some trims for those 215 calls at around 50 cents if we can get up there. And then let's see, let's look at AMD. Also have a limit order in to go short on the 406 puts in the small account if we can bounce. All right, we're at 101. Getting better. I had my Bluetooth off on that. Let's look at ES really quick and see what we got. It feels a lot like yesterday where we're just trading within that range, or a range, I should say. Yeah. So I'm thinking on ES futures, it's one of those where it's conditional. If we can push up towards 4111, 4111, looking to go short the 406 calls, or puts, sorry, if we can get up there. Hey Austin, do you get to see the review stats, or do you want me to forward those to you? I don't know if I'm gonna get the bounce, guys. A little frustrating. Just trying to get in on a bounce. Anybody else's phone acting weird lately? I know my wife and I were having the same issues. It's kind of weird. Oh, okay, got it. See, this is where I start to feel like I'm FOMO. I don't know if I'm gonna get the bounce here. I was really looking forward to a bounce up towards that 4111, but it's just getting lower now. Oh, there we go. Come on. Yeah. Look at the Q's bounce right off the edge. Come on, Bulls. Come on, Bulls. It doesn't help that oil futures has been, pushing really hard, guys. If I get filled on the put side, it's just just a hedge for the day. I wouldn't hedge. It's a trade, but it's small, and I'll just keep it on and see if we fade back down. Kind of hard from here though. It just feels so range bound. Let's see, down 27 points. Apple up, Amazon up 36. Interesting times. Baba down 2, Baidu up 2. It's a mess. Come on, Netflix. Come on, baby. I have several, so if I could start to trim out at 50 cents, that's good. After buying back the body. But see, if I tell you guys 50 cents, do you get out before me? You sure do. It's not fair. All right, we need to do some scanning, man. Blink is positive. Come on, Blinky. Still needs to go up though, big time. Yeah, needs to get past here. Give me a catalyst. I saw they had a deal. I didn't know that when I bought it, but I saw they had a deal, and I think we bought before the deal. So just goes to show you that it was a run up into the news, and then poop. Say it is so. All right, guys, that's a trim. Just a trim. Trimmy, trim, trim. And let's see. Oh, okay, we got filled on the 29 cents for those. And then this is Netflix, a trim of the outer wing. And I gave you guys it is not closed, not closed. Still in. And I'll go ahead and put these on there for you guys so you can see them. Whoops. This is where I like to see the pullback and then it just skyrocket. Let's see. We closed these for 55%, so I'm just taking a partial trade here. What time is it? All right, guys, 50% on your SPY puts. I'm not trimming. I'm keeping my placeholders, baby. I took off my butterfly, so we waited for the bounce, then we went short. Baidu still or Amazon still pushing up. I really wanted those guys to forward split at 2,000. That would have been nice. You know, a perfect temperature I feel like for coffee. It's kind of cool because you get to monitor it from here. It's probably more like 127 to 128. I got it at 123 and it's not as warm as I'd want it. Um, is Lulu earnings aftermarket? Let's see. Let's see. I like Thinkorswim because it actually tells me earnings conference call. Yeah, it's the end of day tomorrow, so we could still trade Lulu. We still have tomorrow to do the analysis. Also, European close coming up in about 24 minutes. If we don't get some sort of direction, 10:30 to 11 here Central Time, then I'll probably walk away just like I did yesterday, and kind of beach trade it. I'm not going to the beach, but just I have things to do instead of just watching sideways action. But I'll be monitoring. I just won't be sitting here right in front of the camera. So, if anybody's out there still watching, again, non-members, check out trendytrading.co. As we always have a awesome, beautiful trial for $5 for 7 days. And then after that, you become a premium member. If you choose so, we don't have like an automatic reoccurring. If you just sign up for the trial, your trial expires and it's up to you whether or not you want to stay. Once you choose to become a member, then it's a recurring payment through Stripe, not PayPal. And If at any time you want to cancel, you go out to the website and you click the cancel button, and then you can cancel from there. If you like what you see, please like the video. I mean, that's all I'm asking. The content is free. I'm out there helping as much as I can. So, again, just please hit the like button. It only takes a second. It helps me. I'm trying to get up to 4,000 hours on YouTube, so it's kind of new for me. I haven't really gone live as much as I probably should have over the last 5 years. It would have really helped out. So I'm only like 700, actually 655 hours into my 4,000 that I would like to have. So I really need your help getting there. Tell your friends. Tell them to check out Trendy Trading at YouTube. Tell them to watch the videos. All of that goes towards that 4,000 hours. I really appreciate you. In the meantime, if you have charts that you want requested, I show you the proof of concept. Again, I feel very highly, I feel like I'm definitely in the top tier up there of giving you guys the best charts that you can find out here on the internet with a if this, then that approach. If you want to understand your risk, I'll make it easy for you. Again, just take the delta of the option for intraday trading. The delta of the option times it by the risk. So say if it's a delta 40 and you have a $2 risk, you're looking at $80 plus 5 to 10 on both sides of your risk. If you hold overnight, then you need to assume full risk. In this market, anything can happen, meaning if you took a $500 option and it's up 30% and you choose to hold going overnight, you could wake up and be down to 80%. All right, just that's the cool thing about options. Always remember that what you pay is what your risk is. Equity, same thing, pretty straightforward. During the day, you can use those stops. After hours, you can use the extended market hours to get out of trades, but doesn't necessarily mean you'll get filled at the order you want because the liquidity is not there like it would be during market hours. Pretty straightforward though. All right, futures, we're always using bracket orders as well. I do. So I'm stopped where I either hit my target. And other than that, that's all I have to say. I'll be resuming here in the room, and I'll see you guys shortly. Thank you again. I appreciate you, and have a nice day.